right, Led Zeppelin, Good Times, Bad Times. Kiwi, really driving song, one of my favorite ones of them. Great drumming, of course, as always, but just everything about it is good. Good rhythm and licks and all that. Really ukable, and so it's fun to play. And you can just pull down the chords anywhere and just play along with it and just go with it if you know the song. And but there are some little tricks you can do. Plus, the riff is difficult to do, but I can kind of show really how to do that, and then you can simplify it too. So that's what this is all about. So I'll do a playthrough of the verse and the chorus, and then I'll kind of slow down on how that's done. I'll sing along with it. I'm not a singer, but at least so you hear how the chords fit into the lyrics. So it starts out with a drive-in E, power, just great. In the days of my youth, I was told what it means to be a man. No matter I reach that age, I'm trying to do all the things the best I can. No matter how I try to find myself back in the same old jam. Good times, bad times, I know I had my share. When a woman leaves home with a brown-eyed man, I just don't seem to care. 16, fell in love with a girl as sweet as bee. It took only a couple of days when she was rid of me. Swore that she would be all mine, love me till the end. But then I whispered in her ear, I lost another friend. But good, then it just keeps going. So that's kind of it. So now I'll kind of break it down. That's starting with the E power chord twice. And that's it, which is kind of nice. You just do that and you do it 5 times. Led Zeppelin's always doing different things with their rhythms and counting and all that stuff. So they do 5 times to the intro. You can change it if you want, but it's basically 5 times. And then you're counting out the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and you're doing that 5 times. Now what they do, which is kind of cool, they start with 1 beat, and then they start filling in with 2 beats, and then they start doing some clicking type of stuff, and just some, I think John Bonham's using the hi-hat, but you can use whatever you want, and use Uke because it's right there. So I'll just show that. Power, E4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, take it, and then chuck it. Go into the song. So it's E, U, D, A, and E, stop. And then you get into the riff. So that's pretty much the chords for the chorus. So E, U, D, and you can do that double down, or you can do whatever rhythm works out. Like sometimes I just do a sustain. So days of my youth, I was because it kind of, the rhythm's already in there in your mind at least. So sometimes just doing a sustain to be a man. So it sounds pretty good. And if you're rocking with it, it kind of feels like that's the beat. So that's the verse chords. And then I'm going to show you the chords for the rest, and then we'll get into the complicated licks. Then you go into the chorus, which is just A to G, and then it goes B to A, B. So it goes A, G, no, I had mine, then B, A. And just don't sing now 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes into that in-between part, which is that 16 one, which is kind of, it's actually very simple. He does it very monotone, but as far as his singing, but Jimmy Page is doing some kind of cool licks on that. So that's F sharp, twice, and then it's going F sharp. He's pulling out. So F sharp, E, F sharp, and then C sharp, B, C sharp, and then like that. Or I can do the C sharp on here, the high bar on the first fret, top 3 strings. So you can do F sharp, and then C sharp, and you're kind of pulling off. It's not easy to do, particularly on the first fret, and it's not true to the note because it's pulling off goes down one step to the C, and they go down to B. But you can't do that with this bar. But it's still, if you play quick enough, you don't notice you're a half step off. So you can do whatever way you want. But like that, or you can just not do it at all. Actually, a lot of times people are just playing F sharp all the way through, which you can kind of do, or you can just do the F sharp to C sharp. 16, I fell in C sharp, thinking I'd be. So you just can strum that. You don't have to do those complicated pull-offs because that's kind of tough sometimes, but pull-offs actually work. So that's the chords all the way through, and then they after this little riff they start in on the chorus again, but when they're starting up in the higher version B rather than starting in A, they're starting in B. So A, no I A, and then now they go up to C sharp and to B. Actually 5 beats there. So that's pretty much it for the chords there. Then you get into the last part. There's during the solo. So the solo part, I would say that they do an eight measures of that, and the solo you can just do E, and then D and A and E. It's kind of like the verse basically, but you can do some pull-offs. So you're going E, and then D, pull off to C, like that. So, and then you can do pull off A, like that. So basically, and then back to E. Whoops. He's doing that 8 times for the solo. You can do whatever you want. So that's pretty much it for the solo. And then it gets back into the last part of singing, where but they're really doing that riff each time. So I don't even remember the words for that, so I'm not going to even try. But it's pretty much just it's the same chords. So the last part of the song is still the same verse chords: E, D, and A, and E, and you're doing that all the way through. So that's pretty much the chorus. Now the riff, not easy. So I'll show you the exact notes, and then and just show you the way I do it. I'll also show my cheater way too, which kind of is a little easier, but it's still kind of tough. So the real notes are, it's pretty much I'm going in the D position, so you'll see my D position where my index is on 3rd string, 2nd fret. So it's going basically this. Oops, sorry. Crushing the bottom 2 with on the 5th fret with my ring, and then it's going, and then power chord, which basically goes D sharp, E. So you really have to slow it down to figure that out. So, but that's why I pick, I don't know if I'm picking whatever. I don't use a pick. I pick with my fingers. That's just the way I do it on uke and guitar. So this is kind of what I'm doing, holding it the same way I normally do. Thumb on the 3rd string, the bass thing, and pointer, and then middle and the bottom. That's pretty much it. So get into that position and just do it slow. D on the index and crush the bottom 2. Like that. So that's more it. Okay, so you do it in segments. That's one segment, and then the next segment is, and it's a 2nd fret for the middle 2 strings, and then open on the bottom. So it's just that, and then quick down the C sharp on the 1st fret, and then you're doing these steps up. So I'll do that slow. So. One more time. I'm not even going to try and count out to the true rhythm to really fit it in there. Just try and get it the best you can. The main thing is getting on rhythm for this. As long as you can do that, you can do any kind of weird mess ups there. But so that's how you do it. How I do it. I'll do it a little faster. Fast time now. Like that. So the main thing is, even if you're messing up, just get back on it. Like that. So now if you use a pick, I don't, this is actually a good classic guitar picking technique where you can kind of roll down the strings like that with your pick, and then you're kind of doing a couple back and forths on the bottom two. So it goes like that. Oops. Like that. And then on this one, you'd have the two middle string. And then you got to quickly go to C sharp. So with the picking, it'd be like this. Whoops. It's pretty much like that. So I don't pick, but so I do this. Okay, and if you don't want to do the chords going up, you can do the notes. But you'll also see that I wasn't going to this position because it's just so fast. If I had time to do it, I would do that, but I'm not. So here I'm cheating a little bit and hoping that I can unmuffle the bottom string. So basically doing a B minor position, which is crushing all bottom three strings, but trying to lift my finger off so it's actually not crushing the bottom string. So it goes, if it's like this, it's going like that. It's very tough to do, but it's just easier for me to do it without speed. But the nice thing is, if you can do that, then you just slide your index right down to C sharp, and you got that note, and then you got a little bit of a pause. Take a breath. Then you do it again. Like that. So there's the main riff, really. That's I think that's the main thing to know. And then I think I already showed you the in-between part, the F sharp. So that's about it, I think, for the riffs. It's very complicated. You just have to break, if you do want to do the riff, break it down slowly and do it in those three segments. And then you just practice each segment and then you do it. Also, there's a friend of mine who he looks at snails for a living, and he's you would think with that kind of a thing he would be a slow guitar player. He's an incredible guitar player, very fast. He just telling me, you just got to try learning this stuff, and then you just got to do it for a certain amount of time, then let it go for the rest of the day, come back to it the next day. And actually that's what helped me on this lick, as I just couldn't get it. Then I let it go for a day, and then I came back, and then the muscle memory was a little bit better, and then I let it go for another day. And then I practiced a bit, and that's how it came. So that's a good technique, and I'll try and listen to that stuff. And the other thing, I guess, the last thing I can show you is my cheating mechanism for that riff. I forgot about that. This is what I did before I really broke it down. I just did it in my head, and I just tried to squeeze it into the rhythm. So. So that is not accurate to the notes, but it kind of sounded close to me, and it was doable for me on the U camera. So that is a cheating way if you don't want to do the real chorus, and I'll show you that. This is more doable. You're still in the D position, and you're doing a nice hammer off, and then you're doing a hammer on with 2 and 4, like that. So that's one, and then your middle finger's right there. So, and then you're going down to C sharp quickly. Then these 3, 4. do it. Don't tell Jimmy Page because I'm doing it wrong. But if you just play the song, "Days of my youth, I was told what it means to be a man. No matter," so close enough. So anyway, that's a simple way to do it. And that's about all I can think of. Have a blast with this song and jam with other people on this one. And you don't need drums and kit. Anybody willing to bang on anything works. But it's just a great song. Go for it. Have fun.